Reddit is a world of strangers, which means you don't have to feel shy or embarrassed when asking about things you'd rather not discuss on Facebook. Speaking of which, the subreddit AskReddit is among the best places about anything under the sun. With over 32 million members, it's a treasure trove full of exciting and intriguing conversations, be it something serious or simply plain trolling. In today's video, we're rounding up 10 of the most legendary posts on AskReddit. Before we begin, let me warn you, this is a pretty deep rabbit hole. Let's get the ball rolling on one of the most common questions, even outside of Reddit. What would you do for money? We know that a lot of people will go to crazy lengths for a thick stack of Benjamins. Well, almost. Instead of asking about what you're willing to do for moolah, username Melancot was wondering about the opposite. What wouldn't you do for $200 million? It's good to know that there are people who won't exchange their morals or hurt someone for money. Faith in humanity restored. User Piglet Poppet's answer is also along those lines, but her husband seems to be thinking otherwise. Meanwhile, other Redditors are more concerned about whether the money is enough to rent an orange cat for 2 years. $200 million? Okay, your call. But that's a bit too much, isn't it? It might sound like a no-brainer, but the following post is basically like handing over the Infinity Gauntlet to the netizens.
I am inevitable.
Redditor_2017 asked a very important question. What free things online should everyone take advantage of? It makes sense. The internet is a very, very, very powerful tool. Yet you use it for nothing other than Facebook and Instagram? Oh, come on. The Redditor's replies created a cheat sheet for everything you can do via the internet for free, without bootlegging apps and services. There are online libraries and archives for free books. You can see plane traffic in real time. You can get an app to help you file taxes for free. You can even edit your photos online without downloading a single app. Someone even took the time to compile a list of the best free software out there, including apps for multimedia editing, CAD, simulations, and a whole lot more. And in case you missed the point, let me repeat this. They're free. This is either a sightseer's or a stalker's paradise, whichever you are. Considering our current situation where traveling around is dangerous, violating Badger's question about the most interesting 24/7 live streaming webcams to watch from around the world is pretty handy. If you've always wanted to see tourist spots, but you can't, a virtual window into those places is the next best thing. The Redditor's replies are vast, giving links to live feeds from places like the Mile Marker Zero in Key West, Florida, Switzerland, and the Abbey Road Crossing, where you can watch tourists trying to recreate the iconic album cover from the Beatles. If sightseeing isn't your thing, they've also suggested ways to mess around with plasma in real time. If messing with people is your thing, they got you covered with this access to an actual office. You can even interact with them. Crazy, right? For those who want to see bubbles from someone's backyard, you can do that as well. You even get to eject the bubbles yourself. Everyone loves a great detective story. Some of us even spend hours and hours on Netflix, filling their need for investigatory stuff. But what happens in real life? Username Edgeworth has the perfect inquiry. Redditors who have hired a personal investigator. What did you find out? Based on the Redditors' responses, a lot of them hire PIs to check on their family members, especially the spouses. There were many tales of cheating, worthy of an episode in Raffi Tulfo's show. Interestingly, there's a story from a PI's wife, who herself has participated in the surveillance. According to her, some of the clients want to catch their spouses cheating, though there isn't anything to catch. Sometimes it's down to paranoia. There's no shortage of touching stories either, such as one from the username Antisocial Octopus. Gosh, that was a mouthful. It's about the Redditor's mom trying to track down where her dad had gone. As it turned out, he ended up and died in prison. While the story was sad, at least the truth gave the Redditor's mom some closure. Mind you, there are hilarious stories as well, Like this one from Fridge, which was about his brother who sued his employer over unsafe work practices that resulted in injury. The employer hired a PI to prove that he was faking the injury. However, the investigation backfired as they mistook the Redditor for his brother. That was satisfying. The following post is pretty simple but quite entertaining. It's a post by Gimme Gimme wanting to see other Redditors' tattoos, and so they rushed to share their tattoos. One of them, username Sand, shared photos of his tattoos on both forearms, requesting not to be asked how he took the photo. It's as if the skill it took to take the photo was equivalent to a cyclist racing through the countryside with both hands off the handlebars, piquing the interest of a fellow Redditor. That's a fair question though. How can you take a photo without hands? Thankfully, he obliged, showing how he did it. He clamped his phone between his chin and shoulders. Interesting solution. But wait, there's more. Somebody pressed on, so he obliged once more, showing that he used the laptop's webcam. And if that wasn't enough, someone else wanted to see another level. Would this guy ever run out of cameras? Finally, he did, so he used a mirror instead. So basically, the whole thing is a matter of taking a photo of a camera, taking a photo of a camera. Okay, that's enough. But you have to admit, the guy's got skills. Unsurprisingly, the Redditors went crazy. Here's something very timely, given the current pandemic. Everyone has different approaches in keeping themselves safe from COVID. Some don't care, some wear masks, and others take it a step further by disinfecting everything and wearing complete sets of PPEs. Unsurprisingly, those who belong in the latter two groups tend to be bullied for being paranoid. But hey, better safe than sorry. This brings us to Jazzy Penguin's question. How do you cope with being treated like you're crazy for following COVID safety guidelines when others around you aren't doing the same? Who else better to answer this than the frontliners themselves? Thankfully, they have meaningful advice. Brush it off and keep doing your part. Advice aside, the thread is saddening, with Redditors recounting their experiences of being shunned for being careful, especially in the US. Apparently, other people still believe that COVID is fake, until they caught the disease, that is. What sheer lunacy. We may not know when the pandemic ends, but this post would definitely leave a huge mark in Reddit history. When Dual Million asked about the bot accounts on Reddit people should know about, I think he had a pretty honest intention. However, the Reddit community didn't seem to be in the mood to give proper answers at the time. And just like that, the trolling commenced. Redditors bombed the thread with this response. The whole thread turned into a parody of Kagebunshin no Jutsu. Naruto, are you seeing this? Apparently, Dual Million got 6,000 messages saying every account on Reddit is a bot except you. Will the real bots please stand up? There's always this song that will make you groove to the tune. That is true until you hear the lyrics. Okay, I know we're not supposed to take everything literally, but come on. Some songs are nothing but sources for terrible ideas. Redditor Cigar and Cream Soda is undoubtedly onto something with the question about song lyrics with terrible life advice. One Redditor pointed out Adele's songs. While I understand that a lot of her songs are about the pangs of love, calling someone 1,000 times is rather creepy, isn't it?
I must have called 1,000 times.
Before the video sharing platform TikTok became popular, there was Keisha's TikTok. In fairness, it's very groovy, something you're likely to dance to with someone in a club.
Before I leave, brush my teeth with a bottle of Jack.
However, as a Redditor pointed out, Keisha doesn't give good dental advice. Do yourself a favor and visit a dentist instead. Meghan Trainor's Dear Future Husband sounds like a cute and sweet song. However, username Himit has good reason to be skeptical.
Even if I was wrong, you know I'm never wrong.
Really, Megan? The song The Roof Is on Fire by Rockmaster Scott and the Dynamic 3 was hot when it was released in the 80s. But thanks to Dr. Blah, we're reminded that this is not a song to listen to when your house is on fire. If you still have a working speaker at that point, please don't. Let's be honest here. At some point, we've done pretty crazy things in the name of love. After all, we're blinded by the prospect of being with our special someone. But after all is said and done, we can't help but cringe at our actions. The question from Billy Boo certainly brought back cringeworthy moments. For instance, this guy. Ah, the pangs of young love. Here's another one. Imagine writing a freaking essay to express your love. That's precisely what Mad Dysphoria did. Is it possible to express love over 7 pages? While cringy, it's pretty sweet though. I want to read that. Meanwhile, this guy pulled out all the stops to invite a girl to homecoming. That's what we call dedication. Unfortunately, things didn't turn out well with this guy. All that effort and no appreciation in the end? That's just sad, man. We can't end this list without including the all-time most upvoted post at AskReddit. There's a running joke during New Year about people who haven't taken a dump since last year. Finally, somebody asked what's keeping them from doing so. After all, it's one of humanity's biggest mysteries. For starters, a little reminder here. Don't assume. Apparently, this guy had no plans to let it go. He's holding on to a lot of baggage, but I can't blame him, especially when it's everything you have, just like this other Redditor. Speaking of words of wisdom, this Redditor decided to express the predicament through poetry. I will not give, I will not go, I will not drop the bait below. I will not dump, I will not do, I will not force a number 2. I will not press, I will not push, I will not lay my puckered tush. I will not pop a squat to wit. I will not shot, I will not… Okay, enough. Meanwhile, others decided to jam to the tune of Rage Against the Machine's Killing in the Name, but with a rather pungent twist. Last but not the least, let's have a PSA. Holding on to your poo is a bad idea, as this Redditor perfectly explained. It smells terrible, doesn't it? Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notifications to get front row seats to watch Canon's mind-blowing videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.